What's behind a delay in some stimulus payments and what's being done to fix it? The Village of Airport Drive looks for answers as to why it's been denied County CARES Act funds.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some people say they aren't getting their stimulus payments because they're going to the wrong account. This is KOAM News at 6. The problem stems from an issue involving H&R Block. KOAM's Chris Warner has more.
Ron Birch is one of a number of people who were expecting a stimulus check, but surprised to find their money had gone to an account that wasn't theirs.
Once the tool became available on the IRS website, I went ahead and checked it, and lo and behold, it shows, the last 4 numbers of some other account that is not my bank account.
And that caused concern for Birch.
I was absolutely very concerned, especially, with this day and age. Who knows, who has your information, who knows what they can hack, how they can hack it. So, yeah, immediately I was concerned.
Now, he wasn't the only one with the issue. Bailey Ward found the same surprise using the IRS tool.
So I called H&R Block, and she didn't really explain anything. She just said that they sent it there because whenever we paid our fees for doing our taxes, that it went to their bank account. And I'm like, why? And she didn't really explain why.
We reached out to H&R Block, who provided a statement saying in part that they are aware of the issue and they, quote, immediately deposited millions of stimulus payments to customers' bank accounts and onto our Emerald prepaid MasterCard, and that direct deposits are being processed. As for what happened, those that filed with H&R Block in 2020 had an option to have H&R Block take their fees from your tax refund. Now, to do that, your refund is sent to an H&R Block account. They take their fees, then send the money on to you. The IRS deposited this stimulus check into those accounts, so now H&R Block is processing them. In Joplin, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
We reached out to the IRS for comment on how the problem started, but did not receive a response. The Jasper County Health Department is reporting 2 more COVID-19 deaths. The 2 patients were both women, one in her 50s, the other in her 60s. These latest deaths bring the county's total to 104. Some Village of Airport Drive leaders are upset with the Jasper County Commission, saying the commission didn't handle the village's CARES Act request properly, and the commissioners used thin reasoning for denying their request. KOAM's Zach Dodge has that story.
In September, the Village of Airport Drive submitted 2 CARES Act applications to Jasper County, totaling around $47,000. Applications that the Jasper County Commission has denied.
I would hope that the commissioners reviewed everything properly and didn't make any review of this outside of a public meeting, which is what certain emails that I have sort of indicate.
Derek Snyder, attorney for the village, explains that in April and May, the village started 2 stimulus programs to help local businesses stay afloat during the state's stay-at-home order. So the village filed 2 requests in September to try and recover those costs.
We began to be concerned when other applications were being awarded and approved, and yet ours seemed to be set aside.
Snyder says later in December, they were told they were being denied because the requests appeared to be reimbursement for the village.
The CARES Act guideline doesn't restrict revenue replacement in regards to assistance to individuals or businesses, and it also seemed the commissioners had already made a decision. One email I received from Commissioner Adams seemed to indicate the matter was closed.
Fast forward to January 5th, when the commission held a hearing on the matter with Snyder, once again denying the request.
They then seemed to determine that based on the amount of funding they had left and the need for future distributions of vaccines, that CARES Act would be going to that.
Our obligation is to spend the monies as we think are the right way to spend the monies, and we're obligated to spend those monies accordingly, and unfortunately every application is different, clearly, and there are clearly guidelines that they have to fit into. And so we have to make the determination, do those fit?
None of the commissioners would comment on the issue with Airport Drive or say for sure why they denied their request.
Personally, I can't help but feel that had at least the first application by the village been taken up timely, then the reasoning that they use at this point to deny it wouldn't be the reasoning they could use at that point.
In Jasper County, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
The commission has allocated around $11 million of the $14 million in CARES Act funding it received. We're going to have a list of where most of that funding has gone so far on our website a little bit later tonight. U.S. government data shows that the COVID-19 inoculation rate in Kansas is the lowest of any state. Despite that report, Governor Laura Kelly says she's, quote, very comfortable with how the state is distributing COVID-19 vaccines. The governor says the poor showing in the report reflects a backlog in reporting data, not in actual vaccinations. Nick Kelly joins us now on what has been a very pleasant January day in the 4 states.
Certainly was, Dal. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Got us into the mid-50s this afternoon, but now cloud cover really beginning to thicken up and more working in from the west ahead of our next storm system. Nothing here falling underneath the clouds, but rain and even some snow picking up across the northern plains and working back into central and western parts of Kansas. We're staying dry for this evening, but it's already starting to turn quite a bit cool. Upper 30s already for Nevada and Stockton Lake, while we're at 46 in Webb. Still trying to hold on to some lower 50s south of I-44. In general, though, we're set for a cool evening and eventually a cold start to our Wednesday morning. At least we're dry for the rest of the evening. We'll hold off on any rain chances until the morning commute. So we'll break down what the system exactly wants to do for us for the next few days coming up in a bit, Dal.
All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Nick. Congress will meet tomorrow to certify the results of the Electoral College vote, but some Republican members plan to challenge the results. They include Senator Roger Marshall from Kansas. After multiple legal challenges and recounts, no claims of widespread election or voter fraud have been proven. Senator Marshall says it's about making sure that states are properly administering elections.
Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, that if we reject those electoral votes, it could significantly impact the final election results.
Marshall joins 12 other U.S. senators who say they plan to contest the Electoral College results. They include Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri and Senator James Lankford from Oklahoma. Senator Jim Inhofe from Oklahoma said today that he will not challenge the results. Senators Roy Blunt from Missouri and Tom Cotton and John Boozman from Arkansas have also said they will not challenge the results. An office manager for a Carthage dentist is accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars from her employer. Authorities say from 2017 until January of 2020, Miranda Wolf failed to deposit nearly $60,000 in cash that customers had paid to the dental firm where she worked. She's also accused of increasing her pay by more than $44,000 in 2019 and $2,700 in 2020, and using the company credit card to make more than $27,000 in unauthorized payments. Authorities have charged Wolf with 3 counts of stealing more than $25,000. Authorities in Kansas City are investigating a shooting outside of a Missouri State Patrol headquarters. Officials say it started last night when a man approached the building with a gun. They say he fired the gun and refused to stop. At that point, troopers fired back and hit him. Troopers said the situation could have been worse.
If our troopers are not here, they're out patrolling. So, you know, I'm grateful that they were here because it could have been a lot worse.
The suspect was taken to the hospital. His injuries are not life-threatening. No one else was hurt in the incident. The Missouri Highway Patrol says the suspect's car had a suspicious-looking package in it. A bomb squad secured it, but officials have not said what was inside. Still ahead, Missouri Southern's athletic director is resigning. We're going to tell you who will temporarily take over for him. And Missouri Southern's looking for social media savvy students to help sell the university to prospective students.
Missouri Southern announces today that Jared Bruggeman is stepping down as athletic director. His resignation will be effective in mid-March following the conclusion of the winter sports season. Bruggeman has been the AD at Missouri Southern since 2009. And during his time there, among other things, Southern has made some major facilities additions through fundraising, including Warren Turner Field, North End Zone facility at the football stadium, as well as artificial turf and a video board there. Now, he will step down as AD on March 16th, but will continue to serve MSSU through May in other efforts.
I think this north end zone speaks for itself. I think the renovations to all the locker rooms, facility-wise upgrades, endowments that we've created are all a big part of what's made this progress for our department go and continue to advance. Very exciting time, I think, for me as a person, for the family, and certainly I think for Missouri Southern as to get a chance to bring somebody else in and get the program working as well.
Assistant Athletic Director Corey Reed will serve as interim AD beginning in mid-March. Reed is the former athletic director at Neosho High School and is in her second stint in the athletics department at Missouri Southern. Dow?
Jacob Leonard. Missouri Southern State University is looking to add to its social media influencer program. The program started about a year ago with 8 students but hit 15 last semester and is steadily growing. Influencers are given free branded items in exchange for generating social media content for their followers. The idea is to use students for testimonials online, creating a recruitment tool.
Everyone kind of can feel what an ad looks like. And our goal is to create this genuine and authentic voice. And what better way to create that voice than to use actual voices of our own students.
The spring 2021 influencer application deadline is 5 p.m. on January 13th. Tonight at 10, we're going to meet one of the Missouri Southern current influencers. Nick Kelly is up next with his complete forecast, and a little bit later how a 4-state farmer is taking her agricultural education virtual.
We kept things pretty quiet for today and hope you had a chance to enjoy this quiet day because Mother Nature's ready to shake things up as we head toward the middle of the week. Let's break down what we're focusing on over the next few days. We have our next storm system ready to ramp up our rain chances as we head into our Wednesday. And depending on how temperatures play out, we're very likely looking at a rain-snow mix as the system hangs around for another day on Thursday. It'll clear out, but it'll leave us pretty much cold for the upcoming weekend. So we're going to focus mainly on that as long as I have the floor for the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds or so. In the meantime, though, we're at 46 in Joplin. Partly cloudy skies outside, but we're still quiet. Southeast breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Around the rest of the metro and the rest of the region, we're at 45 in Iola, 46 in Nevada. Already trying to sneak back into the upper 30s around Stockton Lake, but some areas south of I-44, you're trying to hold on to some lower 50s, but we're all set for pretty much a cool evening and eventually a cold night ahead of us. At least we're dry this evening and for much of the overnight as we eventually plan on seeing overnight lows dropping back into the upper 30s. So the cloud cover in place now. We don't have anything falling in terms of rain or any precip, wintry precip as of right now. However, this is indicating our next storm system already working through the central plains. We have rain and snow in parts of the Dakotas and mainly rain working back down through Nebraska and central and western parts of Kansas. 2 components to the system. First, the cold front working in. That's going to set us up with colder air on the way once we get past tomorrow. And then the part of the system that's doing the main lifting. With the lift and the moisture is this upper low working into the northern plains. This is what's going to pass over us for the next few days and keep us underneath the clouds. Rain chances tomorrow and that rain snow mix as we go into Thursday. So at least we're quiet for this evening. So if you have any plans, you're fine. Just plan on temperatures staying mainly in the lower and middle 40s for much of this evening. Now let's fast forward to 6 a.m. This latest run of the future track wants to hold off on any showers, but I wouldn't be surprised if we had a few showers trying to pop up as the morning drive gets going. But once we get through the rest of the morning and into tomorrow, the rain chances increase in coverage. There could be some pockets of moderate rain, but we're not talking about a deluge or heavy rainfall with our rain chances coming into play for tomorrow. With that said, though, these rain chances and the cloud cover on the way does have an impact on temperatures. 39 in the morning, 42 by noon, afternoon highs right around 45. And then we'll quickly fall back into the 30s as we get tomorrow evening underway. And as we continue to get colder at the surface and upstairs, we're going to see this rain start to switch over to snow as we head toward late Wednesday night and going throughout our Thursday. So we're going to hold on to the system with rain and some wintry weather Wintry weather that doesn't want to seem to add up to very much, though. If we take a look at the snow tracker, I'm keeping the snow amounts very minor, mainly an inch or less for many of you, maybe an inch to 2 inches in our far eastern counties closer to Springfield. I think we get mainly rain out of this, and this is probably more beneficial in terms of rainfall, half an inch to an inch before we dry out by this coming Friday and Saturday. But we'll go 45 tomorrow. We stay cold for Thursday as that rain-snow mix hangs around. Dry for Friday and Saturday with highs near 40. Then I want to watch another system by Sunday. It wants to pass mainly to our south, but I'm not going to rule out a stray snow shower on Sunday with highs near 38. By far and away, though, the better chances for anything falling from the skies are tomorrow and Thursday.
We knew highs in the 50s couldn't last for long. We enjoyed it while they were here, and the forecast doesn't look too bad anymore.
Well, I hope the 50s come back soon, but it did feel pretty good today.
Thanks, Nick. Still ahead, how a local farmer is using the virtual world to continue her agricultural education. Since the day Ruth Zimmerman and her husband took over the family farm, they've turned it into a classroom for kids in the four-state area. So when the decision was made that 2019 would be their last year, Ruth began looking for new ways to share her love for life on the farm right when families needed it the most.
I love filling this barn up with kids and teaching them how pumpkins grow.
For 25 years, Ruth Zimmerman and her husband hosted families and classes on their pumpkin farm in McCune, Kansas. Between her background in education and having raised 5 kids of her own, Ruth admits it was hard not seeing school buses pull up next to the barn this past year.
So since people aren't able to come here because of all the COVID stuff, I decided to reach out to the people out there.
In fact, Ruth had started finding ways to do so before the pandemic, publishing her first children's book less than 2 years ago.
Just one winter during the down season, had lots of time, and so sat at the computer and wrote several books about experiences that we've had here at the farm.
She recently published another one titled Turtle's Day Out, and that's not all Ruth's been up to over the past year.
Hi guys, Mrs. Z here. As you can see, I'm standing in a field.
She started her own YouTube channel.
A whole bunch of soybeans.
I think I've got about 19 videos on there to teach kids just small things that we do here on the farm. I want them to learn about the farm and farm life.
Her first video has more than 7,000 views, and it's Ruth at her best, sitting on that bale of hay in her favorite classroom, sharing what she does.
Because I love people. I love the farm too, and I love to teach. I really wanted to be a service to teachers and to kids and to parents. So I was pleased. I felt like that goal was reached.
It's KOAM's Jesse Irwin reporting. For more information about Ruth's books and the link to her YouTube channel, head to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Final check on the weather is next. Take time now to honor a local Vietnam War veteran. Army Specialist Terry Spencer served from 1967 to 1969. The Peoria, Oklahoma native earned a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart. Army Specialist Terry Spencer, a four-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 and 10. We're going to have the latest on the Senate runoffs in Georgia, plus more on the departure of Missouri Southern's athletic director, and how Missouri Southern is using social media influencers to sell the university for potential students. Those stories and more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 and at 10 here on Channel 7 on KOAM News. Let's check back in now with Nick Kelly.
All's good to go. We'll keep quiet for the evening, Dow, but we'll see rain chances pick up Wednesday with highs near 45, and with colder air Thursday, it'll be a rain-snow mix. We'll get a fresh look at the storm system on the way coming up tonight at 9 on Fox 14 and right here at 10, Dow.
Thanks, Nick, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.